These are the landscape improvements that will give you the highest return on your financial investment. I'm going to break this down into short-term investments and long-term investments. Short-term being you're planning on selling the house sometime within the next year, and so you just need to spruce things up to get it ready for sale. Long-term being things that are more expensive but are going to improve your property values over time. Let's start with the short term, and number one is going to be taking good care of your lawn. If all you are thinking about is things that you read online about how people don't like lawns or hate lawns or want to get rid of lawns, that is very far from reality. In real life, most houses have lawns, and by having a lawn that is properly maintained, so it's fertilized, it's mowed, it's edged, it's mostly free of weeds, that is one of the easiest ways to boost your curb appeal for a potential buyer. Next is putting down fresh mulch. If you think about a landscape job as being a vehicle, then putting fresh mulch down is the tires and rims on that vehicle. It's going to be the last thing that you put on, but it really makes it pop and look nice. Next is tree trimming. If you have large mature trees on the property, chances are that those trees are a little bit overgrown and they may have lower branches that are hiding aspects of your home or your property. By having a good arborist come in and do proper tree trimming, it can really enhance the aesthetic appeal and curb appeal of your home. Next is removing and replacing shrubs that are overgrown. I see so many homes that have planted shrubs near their porch or near their front door that over time have just gotten way too big for that spot, and they end up constricting the front walkway or the front door or just overpowering where they are on the home. And so by simply pulling those out and replacing them with a shrub that is a more appropriate size, you can really improve the looks of your home, and it's not something that is all that expensive necessarily. Now, this next one would be especially if you are planning on listing your home soon or taking listing photos, and that would be planting annuals. Annuals can be planted in the flower bed or on planters on the porch, and they are really going to give a nice pop of color that's going to catch people's eye as they approach your home. Now, what if you are planning on staying in that home for, say, 5 years or more? The number one investment you can make into that home for long term is to plant trees. New trees are going to cost anywhere from $50 up to a couple of $1,000 depending on what size you put them in initially. But regardless of how much you want to spend initially, the truth is those trees over time are going to add tens of thousands of dollars to your property value as they mature. The next really good thing to add is a sprinkler or irrigation system. Now, these can be quite a lot of money initially, but what they do is number one, they save you a ton of time. But the next thing they do is they actually protect the investments that you are making into your landscape. So if you are improving your lawn or your flower beds or shrubs or trees that you are planting, the irrigation system is going to ensure that you have proper watering to keep those things alive and healthy. Now let's get into a category that we call hardscaping. So hardscaping is going to be landscape improvements that don't actually involve plants necessarily. So that's going to be things like retaining walls, walkways, flower bed borders, patios, pergolas, fire pits, and outdoor kitchens. Now, a lot of these types of improvements can be quite costly depending on which materials are used in the construction process. But the ones that are going to actually increase your property value are the ones that are going to improve the outdoor living environment. There is a large trend happening where people are trying to add on to their living spaces by using outdoor areas. So if you can add on a covered patio or pergola that is centralized around a fire pit or a seating area, that's going to actually add on essentially an extra room to your home. And when you incorporate things like pizza ovens, outdoor kitchens, grilling areas, that's going to increase the value of your property because it increases the quality of the time spent outside. And the last one I'll talk about is swimming pools. For me, in most cases, I actually don't think that a pool is a good financial investment if you are planning on getting your money back on the sale of the home. Pools, for the most part, are very expensive to install and they're also expensive to maintain. So don't expect to get all that money back that you spent whenever you do end up selling your home. However, I do believe that if you do have a pool at your home, some of your family's most cherished memories will happen in and around that pool. Just remember that any of these landscape improvements can be done on a lot of different budgets. So some of this stuff is DIY friendly, while others you really need to hire a professional. But I think as long as you are smart about the whole process, a lot of these will actually give you more monetary value added to your property than it does cost you to install initially.